So we're going to do timing on the RSX. So I'm going to walk you through how to do timing. The first thing you want to do is take off the valve cover. Everyone knows how to do that. You got to take off the coil packs. There's a couple of things. Every car is different depending on how much stuff you have on it. Alright, so then once you got the top done, you're going to come down here, take your wheel off, and you're going to go in here. Hold on, let me get some light. Give me 1 second. So then once you got your wheel off, you're going to come down here, and you're going to take the cover off. It's 3 bolts, 10mm bolts, and you're going to pin it. You see that? Make sure you pin that before you do anything with your timing. If not, your tensioner is going to just come all the way off, and guess what? You're going to have to take the whole timing cover off. So make sure you pin your tensioner, okay? And once you're done pinning your tensioner, put everything top dead center. See, we're in top dead center, and now we're basically at this point ready to start taking the cams off. If you have a base model exhaust cam, it's going to help you a little bit. You can put some zip ties on here to help keep the cam gear lined up. All right. If you don't have the exhaust gear, it's okay because you still also have to use this method. You want to make sure you put pins. You see this hole right here on the post plates? There's one on this side too. You want to make sure you pin those, okay, while you're taking the cam caps off, okay? You don't want the cams lifting at any point right now. All right. And also you want to loosen. See these bolts, the cam bolts? You want to loosen these bolts, okay? It's very important to get them loose, okay? So you loosen them, and then from there, you're going to take all your cam bolts off, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. So guys, once you get the cam cap off, make sure you have your exhaust cam ready because you're going to start the exhaust side. The bolt should be loose. I have it loose. Alright, so you're going to basically have a helper. You're going to loosen this bolt all the way out. Once this bolt is loose, you also have to make sure your helper holds this cam up just a little bit. Holds the cam gear up a little bit. He can hold it any way he wants. It doesn't really matter. You just got to hold it up. So you don't even have to worry about the intake because the intake cam gear is pinned down here and there's tension on the chain. So you're good. You don't have to really worry about that. Obviously be on top of it just in case. Whoever is swapping out the cam is the one who kind of wants to keep an eye on the cam gears. Whoever's helping you keeps an eye on the chain. Okay guys? So start with the exhaust cam gear. Just make sure you have a post plate on there because without a post plate, guess what? You're gonna have to go back in there and put it in, okay? So we'll change the exhaust cam gear. You're gonna unscrew it, cam slides out, the new cam slides in. You're gonna push it down and you're gonna pin it also. Alright? And then once the exhaust cam is pinned, then we can start working on the intake cam. Okay guys? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. Guys, so I got the exhaust cam gear in. Alright, so you'll want to make sure you have that snug before you put the camshaft back down. Alright, so you know how we have the pin on the intake cam. So what I do is I put 3 cam caps back in. You can put all of them back if you want, if you're nervous about your camshaft bending and breaking. So once you got it down, you're going to unpin the intake one and you're going to pin the exhaust cam, okay? Like I said, if you have a base model exhaust gear, which always helps, I would recommend people to put it. It's just as good as the Type S one. It's not any different. It just has holes. You can zip ties the chain in here. So change the pin over. Make sure your bolt is loose on your intake cam gear. And basically, once everything is swapped over, the pin, you could take the cam caps back off, have your helper hold the gear in, hold the cam down as much as possible, both cams, and just gonna swap the intake cam over, and it's that simple, guys. Alright, so I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna show you how it looks. Oh, hold up, this is, I can keep the same video, it's fine. Alright guys, so that's it. We had we swapped the intake cam, we put this bolt in, put all your cam caps back in. You could take that pin out once everything is torqued down. It's not torqued down yet. Make sure you have this up there. As you can see, the chain is already tight, which is a good sign. And the car, let's see if I can get, as you can see, we are in perfect timing still. See that, guys? Look at that. Perfect timing. That's how you guys swap camshafts on the RSX K series, K24, K20, doesn't matter, it's all the same. The only thing that changes is obviously the size of the chain is a little different, so the amount of links you count are slightly different depending on K20, K24, or K24/K20. But that's how you swap camshafts. Just make sure before you rotate the engine, you unpin. You have to unpin the tensioner before you rotate anything, because then there might not be enough tension on the chain and it can jump timing, and then that's a whole nother story. You have to take the whole timing cover off and everything to time the car. And just make sure anytime you switch camshafts, you also do a valve lash adjustment on every single valve, guys. Do not slack on that. Make sure you do it, okay, guys? And that was my tutorial, guys, on how to swap camshafts. By the way, this was me going from Skunk 2 Stage 2 cams back to 02 to 04 stock cams because I was getting way too much back pressure with the all motor cams. It was just way too much back pressure. I wasn't making any power in VTEC. So now I'll be jumping back on the dyno this Saturday, guys. Wish me luck. Peace. Alright, guys, got the stock cams back in. Sounds good. Here's my dump tube. You can see it better now. It shoots to the back of the exhaust. Pretty nice. I'm just gonna let the car fully warm up, make sure everything is okay, and tomorrow we head to the dyno. Can't wait.